Welcome back to Battle Cage. It's your boy Scythe, and I'm with my baby bro Serge. Was Gucci, was Gucci.
It was Gucci, big bro.
You know, life just came back from my 9 to 5. A little bit tired, but the show must go on. And before we get into it, I just want to thank everybody, and I mean everybody who liked, subscribed to our videos. I didn't think we're gonna do this like that. My original plan was to get to 500 subs. We are just a tad shy of under 5,000 subscribers, which is phenomenal. I want to say thank you, and once again, thank you. And if you do like the content that we provide, make sure you like and subscribe this video as well. But in any case, let's switch up gears and hope you did some studying because we got some UFC going down this Saturday. So let's get right into it. First fight of the night, we have Gabriel Benítez taking on Machado here. One thing is just remind me on the age on these fighters because UFC doesn't put the age for some reason.
I'll tell you right now. Gabriel Benítez is 35 years of age, and then Machado is obviously younger. He is at 24 years old.
Yeah, so about a decade separating the two. Gabriel Benítez record 23-12. Versus Machado 9-3. They both coming off a loss. Machado is the taller fighter. The reach is pretty much the same. The leg reach is just 1.5 reaches for Machado. So his length is in his body. So he just hovers a little bit more than Gabriel Benítez. Win by profile. So 39% are by KO for Gabriel. Machado loves to throw the leather, so 57%, 43% submission, nothing for Machado. He doesn't wrestle, he doesn't really submit. We could see an evolution in his game because he's definitely due for an evolution. Let's see if he does implement some of that. The average fight time, as you can see, pretty much, about 9 minutes or so. And the decision is going to be going to Machado because, like I said, he just throws it down. There's two things. Number one, I do like picking youth in overall. I do think there is that X factor, that wrestling that could come to a dividend. Gabriel Benítez might just say, you know what, fuck everything, and let me just take you down and do what I gotta do and control you because 55%, 50% accuracy for takedown is pretty good. The odds right now plus 170 for Gabriel. Machado, I believe, was much less than minus 218. He's now moving up to almost 2-1 favorite. Again, yes, I'm picking the youth. I picked Machado, but rules are rules, and I keep burning my skin by not following my rules. But yeah, rules is first fight, don't bet. The pick is Machado, younger, faster, stronger, in my opinion. But the price is getting a little bit out of hand. First fight. Live your life, move on. That's it.
I mean, yeah. So you're picking Machado, right?
The pick is Machado for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you. We're on the same side. I'm on the side of Machado. Just to dive into his last 5 fights, and here's the thing, Machado is more of a striker, right? He's definitely not a wrestler or a grappler, right? He prefers a striking match, right? He's coming off the 2 losses, right? One of them, which is Rafa Garcia, right? Who exposed Machado in the wrestling department, right? He took him down multiple times, I believe, in that fight, right? And he won a unanimous decision. So he exposed that, but we knew Machado is not a wrestler, right? So that part of him was exposed. Now the last fight, the Vyacheslav Borishev, I can't really fault him for that. It was a striking match in which Vyacheslav won, but Vyacheslav is going to give a lot of people problem in the striking department because Vyacheslav himself is no slump. He's a great striker. Okay, so that was a striker versus striker, and Vyacheslav obviously had the edge on the striking, right? Now, if you take Gabriel Benítez, who's already at that age of 35 years old, he's not. There's not much improvement in his game at this point, right? He is who he is, right? Now, if this stands on the feet, obviously I gotta favor Machado because I think he's just a more faster. He's going to be more he's gonna have more power in his striking, right? So I think he's going to find that chin, right? If it gets standing, I don't think it's gonna go to a distance. Now, the only thing that scares me is the fact that Gabriel Benítez does have leg kicks, right? So if he implements the leg kicks, that could come into a problem, right? Because if he takes out the legs, then that's obviously we see what happens with fighters that takes out the leg. It takes out their power, right? And then the striking is off, right? So then Gabriel Benítez can make this a dog fight, right? Make it ugly, and he could win in that fashion, right? If it happens the way I'm saying. Now, Gabriel Benítez does have strong leg kicks because even in his camp, he's noted as one of the strongest leg kicker in there, right? So the man does have, I mean, at 35 years old, you will still have possessed that leg kick, right? So that's the only area that I see him causing a problem for this fight, right? I don't see him taking down because I think in his last 10 or 12 fights, I think he only took his opponents down only 2 or 3 times, right? So he's not a major wrestler. He's not a major grappler, right? He's more of a, let's make this a fight, a dirty fight, right? So obviously, with all that being said and done, I gotta favor the youth, right? I think Makhachev will survive. If there's any leg kicks coming his way, I think he'll knock him out much faster before he takes on that damage of the leg kicks. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm favoring Makhachev. Confidence level is about a medium on this fight, because like I said, because the leg kick does scare me a little bit, but I gotta favor the youth. Plus, 24 years old, a lot of things he can improve on, right? Maybe he already improved on from these last 2 fights, right? We don't know. So there was a lot of training, that a lot of reflection on those last 2 losses. So I'm going with Makhachev.
Yeah, man. Let's go. Let's keep rolling. Up next, now I don't know if this is gonna be the order, but I'm definitely going with it because, well, I'm following UFC. We have Ivana Petrović taking on Liang. How old is Ivana? Like 24, 25? No, actually,
Ivana is 29 years old.
29. Okay.
29. And Liang is 27.
Okay, so Na is a little bit younger, but I think all that damage to Na's face, she looks 35. So
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know she was 27. I thought she was 30 something, like
that's
mid-30s.
what I said. All that damage to the face. 6-1 Ivana, 17-7 Na Liang. So obviously the experience, but everything is pointing Ivana here. Reach advantage, physical size, skill level. She's a pretty well-rounded fighter. Yes, Na Liang has the tendency of taking the fights to the ground, but she doesn't really do anything, and she just lets the opponents, go off on her. If you look at the strikes landed per minute, slight favoring Na Liang. She does throw a lot of volume, but look at the volume absorbed per minute. She literally takes punches to the face like hotcakes. Her face, like I said, the reason she looks 40 is because she has taken some substantial damage to her face. And yeah, her defense is only 27. So whatever that means to you in terms of grappling, like I said, she does have the grappling, but she doesn't really do much. She loves getting a submission there because 59% is by submission. So that's why she goes to the ground. But the minute she fights someone with some ground game and some some higher upper level of ground control and defense, she's not going to do anything. The perceived odds are crazy. Almost 500 for Ivana, plus almost 400 for Na Liang. It's obviously the favorite. It's obviously parlay piece. It's obviously women's MMA fight. It's obviously chalky. It's obviously the second fight. It's obviously you should not bet Ivana Petrović. She is the pick, but the price is disgusting. The prop that I'm looking at is let me see. The over under is 1.5, which is a very, very playable because it depends how much of durability you value in Na Liang and how much of killer instinct you value in Ivana Petrović. One thing that I want to ask you, look at Ivana Petrović, the last 5 fights, right? How many of them she finished in the first round?
So last 5 fights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not one in the first round.
Perfect. Over 1.5, minus 135. Beautiful play. I love that play because, like I said, since she's not a first round killer, and Liang has a tendency of going, is just if not Liang goes balls to the wall and just gasses out or gives up the position and gets choked out herself, that's the only thing that scares me. But if anything, the prop of over 1.5 is ever so sweet. That's kind of where I'm leaning here. So yeah, that's all for me, folks. What you got?
I actually love the over 1.5. If I was to play this fight, which I'm not, and I'll tell you why. Well, over 1.5 on DraftKings is minus 135, which is a very sweet number. If you want to like parlay, like make it a 2-leg parlay, right?
Yeah.
Shoot your Hail Mary shot. I can't fault you for that.
That's a little
But
three-pointer right there.
But here's the thing, right? Let's break this down just a little bit. First of all, Na Liang is straight doodoo as a fighter. Okay,
Massive.
a massive doodoo. Okay, there's nothing good about her. She's a wrestler, right? Her striking is 0. Okay, she's not a striker. Okay, she's a wrestler, right? And even her wrestling is like suspect. She'll bring you to the ground, but she can't really control you there for that long, right? A lot of her fighters are getting out of being controlled on the ground, right? So like, where do you possess a threat? You're not submitting nobody. You're not knocking nobody out, right? So straight doodoo as a fighter. I mean, obviously I'm choosing Ivana Petrović, but the odds on her doesn't make sense to me. You're going 5-1 favorite on a female fight, and she's not the greatest herself. Obviously, if it leaves on a standing, right, a striking match, I mean it's Ivana all day. I mean at some point I feel like she's gonna find the chin and knock her out or whatever she's gonna do with her, right? It's a striking delight for Ivana because she knows there's nothing coming back her way, right? But it's a female fight. I mean, how much trust do I have on Ivana? I mean, we're talking about Ivana who lost to Luana Carolina, which I'm not very high, and I think Luana Carolina is also doodoo. You know, she fought a good amount of fights right on her, but she's not that good, right? So she lost to Luana Carolina in her debut, right? Which fine, you had the jitters, whatever you want to call it. It's her first fight in there, but if you dive into her record also, it's not the greatest. I mean, yeah, there's one that's 7-1, but I mean, if you dive into that one, is also very chalky, right? So it's a little bit dicey. You're putting a price tag on a girl who's not fully proven, not a straight up killer, and you're giving her a 5-1, right? I'll be honest, I want to take some dog action, but there's nothing that Na Liang brings to the table that I can say, you know what, this dog has a chance. Obviously, I think I'm leaning to Ivana. I'm staying away from this. If anything, I like the over 1.5 because that's the only thing that makes sense in this fight. The over 1.5, because there is a possibility in the world where Na Liang is just mad at the world and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna take this girl down and I'm just gonna hold her for 3 rounds. I'm not even going to do nothing. I'm just going to hold her for 3 rounds and hope the judges go in my favor because it's a shitty female fight. You know, it's not going to be exciting. So I'm just going to hold her down. Maybe I'll win a decision, right? There is a world where that can happen. Is it going to happen in this fight? I don't know. She actually might get knocked out by Luana, you know? So, but I like the over 1.5. I mean, stay away from this fight. Don't bet this, okay? If that's what you're looking, there's a lot of other spots that you can take some action on, but the only thing that does make sense to me is the over 1.5. So, you know, play it at your will.
Yep, agree on all fronts. So, moving down along. All right, so we have a kind of a late, a pretty late replacement. Chris Padilla versus James Llontop. This fight was already a suspect with Gabe Green and James Lambton. Then there was another guy and another guy. So yeah, I really don't know who Chris Padilla is. I don't know anything about him. It would be a disservice at this point to even say something. I'm hoping to have some data by Friday. Is there a line right now?
Let me see.
There's not even a line right now.
No, there is not.
Yeah, it's this so such a late replacement. So it's a skipper for now, and we'll circle back Friday and then see what happens. What do you think?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. This is a skipper of a fight for me. I mean, if I have to pick, I'm picking James Lansop. Although I do want to know why Gabe Green pulled out of the fight, because Gabe Green was actually, I think he was an underdog too. He was gonna be my underdog pick against this dude because of the experience. So I'm curious to know why he pulled out. And then this new guy coming in, Chris Padilla. I mean, I don't know. Both for UFC, newcomers. I mean, there's not enough data on these two fighters in the UFC. Skipper for me, no action.
All right. Speaking of no action, there'll be no action on the next fight, but I'll tell you one thing. I like Ketlen Souza, man. And that's about it, bro. I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is a females MMA fight. Once again, bigger girl, Brazilian. How old is Ketlen?
Ketlen is 28 years old.
And
Marnic Mann is 31 years old.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Ketlen Souza. What's her line?
Yeah, I think she's juiced a little bit. She's Ketlen Souza is a minus 345.
Better
and
than
Marnic
Petrović.
Man is plus 275.
Yeah, the pick is Ketlen Souza, but it's gonna be a finish. And here, I don't think it's gonna go the distance. To be honest, that under 2.5 plus 200 is just it's calling my name, because I think there's gonna be a finish, man. It's gonna be a good finish, and I think Ketlen Souza's finishes by knockout, bro. She's gonna knock this lady out. I'm just letting you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, she absorbs 5 punches. She's one of those magnet faces. Ketlen's coming in. She wants to win. Coming off a loss, she wants to make a statement. Yeah, we're gonna go with Ketlen under 2.5. And don't ask for any specific explanations here. It's just what it is. Take it and go. Take it and go. Take that and go to the window and put that check in. That's it.
It's definitely tempting on the 2.5 plus 200.
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you,
here's the
it's
thing.
not going the distance.
My pick is also Ketlen Souza. Marnic Man is more of a grappler, wrestling, grappling. That's her department. But she's not all that. I feel like if it stands on her feet, Ketlen Souza obviously has a clear advantage.
It is a straw weight, so Ketlen is dropping weight. That's a little bit scary. So I want to watch the weigh-ins, and I want to see Ketlen on scale. But if the scale looks good and the face-offs looks good, it's gonna be Ketlen under 2.5 plus 200 play for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ketlen Souza. Under 2.5 is definitely tempting, because I mean, I also, I mean, honestly, when I just look at the face of Marnic Man, I feel like it's gonna be she's gonna get KO'd. I don't know why. I have a feeling that she will get KO'd. But it's a female fight. I definitely don't trust both of these fighters. Minus 345 is definitely too juiced up in my opinion. I mean, but I see why she has that price tag, because she clearly has a striking advantage in this fight. But I mean, I don't know, man. This screams like a skipper for me. I have no action on this fight. I don't trust this fight.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Next fight, we got the heavyweight boys throwing it down. You got Dantel, Can Be Trusted Mace versus this new guy, Caio Machado, who was doing good in his outing, in his debut against McParkin. He just got out wrestled by McParkin, but he definitely got hands. So yeah, he was a dog. The lines are now even. Yeah, Dantel Mace is John Jones' partner and all that good stuff. I liked Caio as a dog. I still like him now. I think he's gonna punch the living shit out of Dantel Mace, and he might finish Kong. He might finish Dantel. Like, something tells me this might not go the distance too. The over under here is set for 2.5, which is crazy. We don't have fight doesn't go the distance prop yet, but I'm leaning fight doesn't go to a distance, and I'm leaning money line Caio Machado. I am worried about Kong taking down Caio Machado and just laying on him, because we've seen a couple of fights where, Dontel Mace has that in his back pocket. He's going to be physically bigger, 6'6", 3-inch reach advantage, but he just really doesn't translate well with the power. His hands are very, very heavy. He gets very tired as he's throwing them, and they seem to be seem to be dropping like after the first round. Let's see how it goes. I like Caio Machado. I wonder if it's the same Machado. Ian Gary's wife's ex-husband, but probably not. I don't know, man. But yeah, let's go with this Machado, bro. And I'm gonna give him a chance. I just don't trust Dontel Mays, bro.
Damn. Yeah, huh? You know what's so crazy? I was on Caio Machado side, and I was like very high on Caio Machado side, especially when he was an underdog. I was like that's gonna be my underdog, and I don't know why, but I flipped pick. I'm on the side of Dontel Mays. Dontel not to be trusted Mays.
Damn.
I feel like, I just have this feeling that he's gonna find a KO in this fight. I don't know why. He definitely has the power advantage in this fight. He's a bigger fighter. It's just sometimes he can just be very low volume output, just like bad IQ moments. It's just it sucks because like I feel like he could do it. It's just I don't know. Will he? I don't know. I don't trust any. This is a heavyweight fight. I don't trust both of them, especially Dontel Mays. But I just like Dontel Mays just because of the he has the more power edge to him. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is a stay away fight. If you're betting this fight, you are a true degenerate, my friend. Whoever's betting this fight, you are a true degenerate, okay? And I salute you for taking some action on this fight. Although I will say, if anything, I like this fight to go round 2. I don't know what the line is going to be, but nobody's knocking each other out in the first round. No one. So
it's heavyweight fight. You never know.
Over 1.5, I'm curious to know what that is, but they don't have that. Over 2.5. To be honest, this might be a boring ass decision fight. That's why over 1.5. What if anything? I don't know what that line is gonna be. Probably like minus 300, minus 350 or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. But you know what I am thinking of? Dontel Mays over 1.5, and then Liang over 1.5. Come see me.
Not hating that play. I'm not hating that play. We moving on to Austen Hubbard, who cannot be trusted at all. Like, I trust Dontel over Austen Hubbard. He's in the UFC. He's not in the UFC. He's winning fights. He's not winning fights. One of the most inconsistent and unpredictable fighters in UFC history that I've personally tried to break down and make my pick. So can't trust this guy. Don't like this guy personally. Michael Figlak, he was okay in his debut against Farazim, who's game. At this point, he's game. Very, very technical, long-rangey, 155er. So, yeah, I'm not hating. It was a tough outing for Figlak, but give me Figlak, bro. Give me him by fucking stoppage. Excuse my French. I want him to really beat the living shit out of Austen Hubbard and completely and, undeniably forever retire him from the UFC, because he's just not. Unfortunately, it is not a UFC caliber fighter. So Figlak also started as a dog, if I'm not mistaken. And where's the line at? Figlak is minus 175. When I broke this fight down, he was even Steven. He was dogs when I looked at him. And it looks like people are thinking the way I'm thinking. And everybody says Austen Hubbard is trash. Although I don't like using the word trash, I just say he's not UFC level. And Figlak has a little bit more promise and a little bit more potential. The play is Michael Figlak, minus 175 currently. Play at your own risk, parlay potential. That's about it.
Yeah, I am on the side of Michael Mad Dog Figlak. I think he should come through on this fight.
Yes, sir.
His debut with Perez was a tough debut because Perez actually surprised everyone with the wrestling. He became a wrestler and took Michael down several times. So that was very unexpected of Perez because he's like more of a technical striker, maintaining his distance and just outpointing you. But he decided to be a wrestler that fight, so that kind of threw Figlak definitely off his game. Austen Hubbard can be trusted. I mean, he has the skills. I will put it that way. He has the skills in every. He can hang down the feet with you with striking. He can grapple with you. There. I believe he does have submissions up his sleeve. I mean, but he's just like, I don't know. He doesn't show that urgency to win a fight. And then that loss to Vince Pichel. Old man Pichel, that doesn't sit well with me. I mean, you go into a distance with Pichel and you're losing a unanimous decision. I can't trust you after that. He lost to Kirk Halibo, which Kirk Halibo is he's game, but I think he lost in his last fight too, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know, man. I can't trust Hubbard. I really can't. So for those reasons, because I cannot trust him, I gotta go with Figlak. Because I feel like he should deliver. Like I said, his last fight debut was a little bit unexpected, but he's going to be the more dangerous fighter in this fight. So I like him. I'm gonna back him up. He's a low confidence pick for me. I mean, I'm backing him up, but I don't have him in any of my plays, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same. Let's move forward. Up next, we have a 39-year-old Rani Yahya taking on a 36-year-old Victor Henry. Victor Henry is very, very juiced right now. Minus 425. He come down a bit. He started off almost minus 600. So he's minus 425 right now. DraftKings. He is the pick. But I'm not playing this card. I'm not playing this fight, and he's probably gonna win, and he's probably gonna win by decision. Probably. He is a volume striker, Victor Henry. Very, very volume. Ronnie's more of a submission, wrestling type of situation. 75% of his wins are by submission. Rani Yahya, that is. Victor Henry's a more well-rounded fighter. Volume is the game. But he does absorb some punches. But to his lock, Rani Yahya is not one of those guys. But who knows? Old man strength might come through. Minus 425. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like this fight, man. I'm not. I don't know why. There's nothing here that really excites me. Just gonna be a pass for me. Just a strong pass.
So I actually like this fight. Okay. Now I don't want to use the word lock because I got burned in the past for calling
no such thing as a lock.
Yeah, I mean there's no such thing as a lock because obviously this is it's a fight. Anything can happen in a fight. But for me personally, Victor Henry is as close to a lock on this card as you can get for me, okay? And I'll tell you why. I mean, Victor Henry is a smart fighter, okay? He shows to have good IQ. He's a volume output type of fighter, okay? Rani Yahya is already at the age. He's 39 years old. He's more of a jiu-jitsu type of fighter, okay? He's not an elite striker or anything of that nature. So I feel like Victor Henry can outpoint him and just win a unanimous decision. I don't know if he's going to knock him out. Most likely not. It'll probably go to a distance, in my opinion. But I mean, Rani Yahya still possesses that threat. If it does go to the ground, Rani Yahya could ride out a that round or even possibly find a submission. He's still very dangerous. Okay, if I'm Victor Henry, I'm not throwing any leg kicks. Okay, I'm standing there and I'm just striking with you. Okay, I'm just outpointing you and even possibly trying to find a knockout, because if it stands on the feet, clearly has an edge. And that's his path to victory. I don't see Victor Henry grappling and taking us to the ground, because why would you do that? That would be a very dumb thing to do against someone as dangerous as Rani Yahya on the ground. But Rani Yahya, as we've seen in the last fight, he's already slowing down. He's very dangerous in the first round, and then past the first round, he starts to slow down. I mean, that age is already creeping up. It starts to slow you down. We all seen that. So I like Victor Henry. I mean, he is definitely juiced up. What is his odds? His odds is, I mean, it's like a scary number. Where is it? Like minus 500 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? Oh yeah, there he is. He's minus 425. But I like him. He should win. I have him in my parlay. Okay, I actually have him in 2 of my parlays. So, I mean, I'm hoping he really comes through for me. I have a lot of trust in him in this week. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it.
All right. That is all, folks, for the prelims. We are now in the main card, and we are going to start with the Dirty Bird, 40-year-old Tim freaking Memes, man, fighting Uros Medic. What is Medic like 30 right now? Like prime age?
Medic?
Yeah.
Medic is 31.
All right. So prime age for Uros Medic. 40 years of age for Tim Memes. Yeah, the pick is Uros Medic, man. I'm sorry to say. Minus 300. It is pushing. It is pushing in the price tag because Tim Memes is a dog. He has fought everybody. He's fought literally the who's wealth of experience, but father time, and Uros Medic is the pick. I think he's a good fighter. He definitely has the KO potential, 78% of his total wins, which is not, his record is not like super duper. It's only 9-2, but does have that power. Has pretty good volume. Absorbs 3, so does Tim Memes. And the grappling, well, his takedown accuracy is 100%, which might play a big dividend. Price tag not so attractive, but yeah, pretty high confidence pick over here. Uros Medic minus 310 sounds about right. I believe he was even a better price earlier in the week. Let's see what you got to say. But the pick is Uros Medic here, and confidence level 8 out of 10.
You ready for this?
Don't say it.
You ready for this?
Don't say it.
Now I'm going with Uros Medic.
Oh my god!
You thought I was going to say the Dirty Bird, huh? You thought I was going to say the Dirty Bird. But you know what's so crazy? Now I'm joking about it, but I really do like him. Like I do like Tim Memes, the Dirty Bird. He has a lot of fights under his belt, a lot of experience. I mean, yes, he's already at the age 40, which is not a good thing to see, because that's father time. But I mean, he came through on his fight on Andre Fialho. He still showed that he still got some, some pop in him. Some flair, right?
Yep.
He lost to Alex Morono. No shame there. I actually think Alex Morono is very underrated. He lost to Max Payne Griffin. Okay, again, no shame there. Max Griffin is game. Kevin Holland is game. He's losing to all of these like notable fighters, right? And mind you, he won against Nicolas Dalby, and we've seen what Nicolas Dalby just did in his last fight. That was crazy.
Nicolas Dalby needs to be investigated.
The biggest upset of that card. Okay, mind you, he has a win over him, right? So to me, that's beautiful to see, right? Uros Medic obviously has the power. We're all thinking that he's going to KO Tim Means, right? And it's very much possible. He can. He has the power. But the fact that he's fighting, like, first of all, he's fighting in Alaska, right? All these fighters that's in Alaska, that's how he started coming up, right? I mean, that's already questionable. Like, who are these fighters? How good are they, right? Very questionable. He comes into the UFC, fights Alan Cruz. Okay, fine. He got that win. Goes moves up against Jalen Turner. Boom, gets a rare naked choke. Right. Fights Omar Morales, which I'm not very high on Omar Morales. He wins against him. Matthew Selsensberger. That's a notable win. And then he fights against this guy. I don't even want to butcher his name. Orabai, which obviously, I mean, this guy looks like he's a trained assassin. Okay, came into the ring and just did a neck crank. Right? I mean, I don't know, man. This guy's practicing some ninja stuff in his country. I don't know. But Tim Means, he's game. I don't know. I like him as a underdog. I really do. And I actually might sprinkle just a little bit of action on him because I think he's game. Now, if I don't watch the fight and you tell me that he got knocked out in the first round, I believe you. Because Euromedic can clearly do that, right? But if you also tell me that Tim Means won a dirty decision, right? I will believe that as well. He can make this fight dirty. He could implement some grappling in there against the cage and just makes a very, very dirty fight. And he could pull an upset. So I like Tim Means. I think his experience will come into play here. Yeah, I mean, give me Tim Means. Very low confidence pick, but I do like him. I mean, I know I wanted to choose, and I keep jumping, because I'm always thinking in my head, Uros managed by KO because that's what I see when I close my eyes. I see a KO, but then again, I'm like, when I open my eyes, I'm like, Tim Means making us a dirty fight. Let's go, a split decision for Tim Means, Dirty Bird. So. I don't know, man. I at the end of the day, I gotta ride with my guy at Tim Means. I think the experience will come into play. I think he's going to make this a dirty fight. I think his IQ of so many fights is going to come into play, and I think he's just going to wear out Uros Medic just a little bit,
Yeah, you high, bro.
Yeah, but watch, if he does win, I'm gonna come back to this moment. And I'm gonna say I backed up the Dirty Bird Tim Means. But again, if he does get KO'd, so be it.
So this fight was announced. I told you my pick.
I know.
Yeah, the pick is gonna be David Onama because it's David fucking Onama, man. 3-inch reach advantage. He's a well-rounded fighter. Has the KO potential. Has the submission. Got the experience already, so not his first rodeo. I think he's battle tested. That fight with Nate the Train really pushed his limits, and I think he's just coming into his own. Jonathan Pearce had promise, but his stock, never lived up to its full potential. You know what I'm trying to say? Coming off a loss to Brito, I can't really hate on that because Brito is a monster. Before that, man, Darren Elkins, Amerquani, Rodriguez. I think, is he the only one who actually beat Christian Rodriguez? Christian Rodriguez, the hype slayer. Omar Morales. So yeah, he was coming in with some heat. He kind of slowed down recently. David Onama, like I said, 29 years of age, reach, got his feet wet already. He actually fought 5 times, I believe, already in UFC. How fast did that time flew? Fought Mason Jones in his debut, lost that. Came back, Gabriel Benítez, we broke that fight down. Garrett Armfeld, submission. Majority lost to Nate the Train in a fight where he was really, really winning that fight up until, I don't know, second wind because he literally dropped Nate the Train, and he was like killing Nate, like he was just violating Nate, and then all of a sudden Nate just came back from the dead, and was able to take that fight over. But still, tough dude. And now Gabriel Santos knockout, good knockout against Gabriel Santos, young guy. So yeah, give me David Onama. I think he's gonna find a shot, and he's just gonna knock out Jonathan Pearce, just knock his life out of his lungs, and it's gonna hurt real bad because there was a time where I used to be very, very high on Jonathan JSP. So yeah, the pick is David Onama. Dog money still. Dog money, where you at? He is currently plus 142. And if you are thinking of that and you're thinking it's going to be a close fight, plus 3.5 minus 125 backdoor play. Yeah.
Okay. So we are definitely split on this. I am backing my guy, JSP. Okay.
Wow.
Now, I will say David Onama is going to be the more dangerous fighter in this match.
For sure.
Clearly has the power edge. Okay. If it stands on the feet, I could definitely see a KO on the side of David Onama. However, I don't think it's going to stand on the feet for that long. I feel like JSP is going to take him down. I mean, you mentioned all the fighters that he fought previously, and I'm very high on some of these fighters. I mean, the Joannesson Brito fight, in my opinion, I think was the first time I seen JSP actually do like had a bad IQ moment there. He was telling Joannesson Brito, get up and do something, and Joannesson Brito actually did something. Okay, that was very. It was a bad look. It wasn't very smart. I mean, I feel like he should have took that fight a little more seriously, and he possibly could have won that. But I don't know. It was just a bad IQ moment for him. He won against Darren Elkins, and Darren Elkins won his last fight against DJ Brown, so that was a pretty good win. Mac won Amir Khani. I can't put too much stock on that because Amir Khani is a first round or bust type of guy, but he's still very dangerous in the first guy. And I think he was giving JSP some problems in the first round, up until he gassed out, right? So then Christian Rodriguez, I'm very high on. You said he's the hype killer, and he is. I mean, you've seen what this man is doing to all the good fighters coming up. I mean, I'm very high on Christian Rodriguez. He won against him, so that's a very notable win. He won against Omar Morales, not a lot of stock there, and Kai Kamaka, which I think is a very good fighter, and he beat him. Okay, so he's winning against really, really good fighters up until the last loss of Joannesson Brito. And then you have David Onama, who's also not a slump. I'm not gonna say he's fighting bad level of competition. He is. He fought Gabriel Santos, who was 10-1 at that time, good fighter. He, finished him in the second round. Lost to Nate the Train, but we see Nate the Train what he just did. That is Nate the Train. They call him that for a reason. Okay, so he lost that, even though he had him hurt several times in that fight, right? So we've seen the power that David Onama possesses. Gabriel Benítez before that, and Mason Jones that he lost. I mean, but that was his debut fight, and Mason Jones was and still is a problem kid. Okay, I think Mason Jones is actually, I think he's on the regional scene putting in work there. So and he's like dominating there. So I mean, Mason Jones is game. With all that being said and done, I think Jonathan Pearce will mix in the wrestling and takedowns. Okay, which will possess problems for David Onama. And I don't think David Onama is going to find that KO shot. So he's not going to give him that chance to find that KO shot. Okay? Because I don't think it will stand on the feet for too long. It will be on the ground. So yeah, I got to back up my guy Jonathan Pearce in this fight. Although I fully understand the threat that David Onama possesses, and that is his power. Okay? And he could find a KO if he does, which I don't think he will. So pick is Jonathan Pearce.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you have to feel this way. I'm sorry, David
I mean, here's
Onama's
the thing.
gonna win.
I can't even blame you for picking, David Onama. I mean, he's a great pick to, he's a great underdog to pick. I mean, I can't fault you for backing up David Onama. 100%, I cannot fault you. I just gotta back up my
In
guy.
either case, one of us will win and one of us will not. And I'm really sorry that you have to feel this way on Sunday morning. And should have went with David Onama. But moving down along, another heavyweight bout here, Austen Lane versus I don't know how to say Jhonata Diniz. I think that's how you say his name. I think the J is silent. So
Yeah, I think it's Yonata.
yeah, Jhonata Diniz, a very dangerous, well-rounded kickboxer. Transitioning to the MMA. And when he hits, the man hits. And Austen Lane's chin, even though covered by a beautiful beard, that he's rocking, that's been broken. So he's gonna get knocked out, and he's gonna get knocked out viciously. Diniz is the pick. The method of victory is knockout. Everything is so disgusting to play. The only thing is going to be take Diniz money line. He's now minus 265, 10 out of 10 confidence pick. Levels above Austen Lane in the striking department. He got flying knees, he got head kicks, he got strikes, elbows. The man is really good. Watch his highlight reel on YouTube. He's just dropping these guys. I mean, just counter lefts, counter rights. Yeah, that's the pick. Big dude, heavy hands. Diniz, done.
We're on the same side. I'm rocking with my guy.
That's one of my high level picks.
Yeah, Yonata Diniz. I mean, you said it right. There's levels to this. He is amazing kickboxer. I mean, he is well composed. Okay, and I like he doesn't have his chin out in the open like that.
Nah, very good.
Austen Lane has that chin up all the way high there like a giraffe. Okay, just waiting.
Yeah,
waiting to get hit. And Yonata Diniz obviously carries that one hitter quitter power. So I gotta back up my guy Yonata Diniz on this one.
Yep, that's it. If Austen Lane can wrestle, and I don't think he's gonna get the chance to wrestle, he's getting knocked out.
I don't see it.
Yep, moving down along. I've talked about this fight. High level pick, confidence. Karine Silva started as a dog. She is now minus 148. Still playable line. You got to respect Ariane Lipski. That experience is there, but I just feel like she's been getting really lucky in the last 3 fights. That fight against Melissa Gatto split decision win is robbery, and convince me if I'm wrong. But I've been high on Karine Silva, the killer. She's been delivering like a killer. She's literally submitting these girls nonstop, and I don't see why she's not gonna submit Ariane, the queen of violence. Ariane Lipski, who's pretty suspect on the ground, if you ask me. Win by, it's like a well-rounded win percentage, but man, Karine Silva really got it all down packed. Her fight average is only 5 minutes, which means she's finishing these girls. Like I said, she can throw, she can wrestle, she can submit. She's really good. 60% takedown accuracy, which I think will be good to overcome the 79% takedown defense. Yeah, give me Karine Silva. She's also up there for the confidence pick. I've been high on her for a while, and until that train gets derailed off the tracks, we are choo-choo Silva.
Man, put me on that train wagon too, man. I'm on the side of Karine Silva. I mean, I'm confident also in her to get the job done. Probably by a submission. I mean, Ariane Lipski did find that inner killer in her. She is on a three winning streak.
I disagree with the win against Melissa Gatto.
I mean, I agree. I think she lost that fight, but nonetheless, I mean, she still they ruled it in her favor. So we're gonna give her that win. Although I do agree with you. I rewatched the fight. I think she lost.
Yeah.
But she's still on a 3 winning streak. Okay, but I mean, Karine Silva is, she is good. She is really, really good. She's submitting these girls left and right. She's, I mean, she's amazing. 17-4. They're both 30, both from Brazil. But Karine Silva,
Yeah.
she is something else. She's special.
Yeah, I like her. I like her style. Okay, we are now in the co-main event. We got Ryan Spann, aka Superman, taking on what's his name? Bogdan Gaskov. He is from our country, Uzbekistan. So shout out to my guy, who's a unofficial twin of Anthony Smith, because he's like literally looks like Anthony Smith.
He does look like Anthony Smith.
Freaking identical twin. It's all good in games. He's good. He's confident. You know what I'm saying? But man, there's just levels. There are levels to this game, and I just don't think he's there yet. You know what I'm trying to say? Ryan Spann, I don't care how many times he's losing. I don't care what you're saying. He's been with the UFC since 2018. He has literally went through almost everybody. You know what I'm saying? The OGs, from Rogerio Nogueira to the Devin Clarks to the Sam Alves, which was a split decision, go figure. Getting knocked out by Johnny Walker, a huge Brazilian. Misha Sernikov, Anthony Smith, twice he lost, one submission. One, I think he kind of got robbed in his last fight with Anthony Smith. Ian Kutalaba, that was my lock against Kutalaba. He was my biggest play. He was my lock against Dominic Reyes. He got submitted by Nikita Krylov. That I did not see coming. So still, this is the first time he's coming in with high spirits. He's usually always angry at the world. He's a little bit more laid back, a little bit of a more how would I say this? Personality. He's talking about his kids. He was wearing the cape today, like the Superman, because his daughter requested it. I'm gonna go with Spann. I'm gonna go with Spann by KO. It's gonna be a vicious blow to Gaskov's face. Because I think, an angry Ryan Spann was dangerous, but I think that happy and a little bit more relaxed Ryan Spann is going to be even more dangerous. I like Bogdan. I like his style. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a knockout artist. He does win a lot by knockout. Win by 86% by knockout. You know what I'm trying to say? I just feel like Ryan Spann is really, really battle tested at this moment. He's been there with the best of them. Some of them he died, some of them he's not. I think Gaskov is good overall, just not at that spot right now. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the fight is really tailored for Ryan Spann. He's not too old, he's not too young, 32 years old. He should be able to get the job done, if you ask me. He definitely fooled around a little bit too much for my liking in his last fight against Anthony Smith. He definitely could have won that fight. And yeah, I think he needs the money. And he got 3 kids to feed, and it's going to be his fight, man. 73-inch reach advantage, 2-inch height advantage. He's a bigger guy, very explosive when he wants to be. And yeah, Ryan Spann is the pick.
Yeah, give me Ryan, bad IQ Spann.
Yeah,
to win this fight. Bogdan is good. Shout out to Uzbekistan. He's representing, putting us on a map, But I can't trust Bogdan. He's a first round or bust type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He clearly has the power. He will be the more dangerous fighter, and especially in the first round. But I do want to trust my guy Ryan just to survive that first round. If I feel like after it goes past the first round, my confidence on Ryan, it just goes up that much higher.
I want Bogdan to really put an ass beating on Ryan a little bit in the first round and get to like minus 200-300, and I'm just gonna jump on Spann just for the fuck of it.
Oh, you mean after the first round when he goes to like plus 200-300?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. And I'm at. Honestly, it's funny because we didn't even talk about this, but I thought about the same thing earlier. I was like, clearly, if it goes past the first round, I'm gonna give it to my guy Bogdan on the first round, and I could see an ass whooping in the first round because that's what Bogdan does, right? He goes balls to the wall in the first round, right? He tries to take your head off, and he'll most likely try to do the same thing. I mean, he's gonna implement his same game plan. Okay,
The only way Ryan Spann loses this fight if he loses to himself first. If he comes in there with like bad IQ, taking Bogdan lightly, Gaskov throws. He likes to throw hands.
here's the thing: Gaskov throws, but
He's reckless.
one thing to keep a note on is the fact that Ryan Spann is going to be bigger. Okay,
Way bigger.
he's going to be way bigger than the last few opponents that Bogdan fought. So and we seen with Bogdan losing to Wisdomir, right? I mean, like yeah, I don't know, man. I don't trust Bogdan to win this fight. If he was gonna fight anybody else that's low level, I probably would have backed on Bogdan. But
For sure.
the fact that Ryan Spann has fought in there, with a lot of great fighters, I'm gonna trust him on this fight. Like I said, his IQ is bad, but I mean, I feel like he should know coming into this fight, you're fighting Bogdan, who's a little lower level of competition than the people you were previously fighting, right? So I mean, I don't know. I want to see
what would have been a good fight for Bogdan if they would have made the Dominic Reyes fight. That would have been a good
then
fight.
I would have backed up Bogdan in that
Yeah,
fight.
yeah. But the fact that he's going to number 11 Ryan Spann,
Yeah, see that's a big jump for Bogdan.
That's a big jump, bro. That's a big jump. Again, that's just too fast it's too fast. I know he fought Vulcan number 9, and you saw how bad he did in that level.
Right.
And obviously the bad IQ could play the dividend here. I just stylistically, Ryan Spann has the tools. He's been there. He's done that. It's not like he hasn't been hit. He's been knocked out by the best of them. And if you really look at that division, man, the light heavyweight division they're monsters, bro. There's just the top 10 are all freaking monsters. They literally just monsters.
You know what? Give me Ryan Spann by a guillotine choke.
Yo, he has the guillotine choke. He has a nasty guillotine.
I feel like Bogdan will
he might
will
give
be
up
losing.
That, yeah.
Will be like gassing out, and he's gonna try to take him down. And then Ryan Spann's like, "Come here, buddy."
Yeah,
just real quick. He pulls that. He pulls that.
He has a nasty guillotine with a body lock that he just completely takes out that neck.
Yeah, and he's strong. He's a strong guy himself.
Strong.
So yeah, I mean, we're both on the side of Ryan Spann. We both trust him to get the job done.
Yeah, I like the fight. I like the fight doesn't go to distance.
Oh, 100%. Matter of fact, let me see what's the odds in that. I mean, it's probably juiced because
it's gonna be juiced. Fight under 1.5 is -270. Tough. I just think just the money line is the play here.
Fight? Oh yeah, you're not playing fight to go not to go to distance. You're not
really
playing that.
I really like Ryan Spann and Diniz combination for +107. If you add Karine Silva, that's +247. That's a good number. That's just like the parlay of the night.
I mean, we'll talk about parlay after we finish the main event.
And we're in the main event. Alex Perez, just coming back not too long ago, fought Mukaev, which was, I think, a very tough welcoming back ask for, Perez. Hasn't been in action since July of 2022. All of a sudden in March, he fights Mukaev, who I think is championship material kind of guy. Yeah, shows some weaknesses there and there, but I think coming in and losing a decision to Mukaev is not terrible. And he actually, he held it down. Let me see what the hell this guy was. He was, he threw 22 head strikes to 34. He had 3 minutes of control time of, he actually he didn't do bad. Let me put it this way. It was a good performance. I would not even be mad with a split decision win instead of a unanimous for Mokaev. So I think Alex did good considering everything. I think he got the jitters out. I think he's back in his groove. I don't really think highly of Nicolau. He's all right at best. Mediocre, man. Mediocre. He's never going to be champion. He doesn't have the championship DNA. At least that's just my opinion. I think he has good attitude on him, but Alex Perez is way better. He's literally better in everything, in my opinion. He has, I believe, more dangerous submission attempts, more experience, better control time, better significant strikes, in my opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong. Grappling, they're pretty good. They're both pretty good, but I feel like the natural wrestling is going to favor Alex. Man, I mean, yeah, Alex Perez. Give me Perez, bro. Dog money play. Dog money play, man. Straight up. Dog money.
Wow.
High confidence. High level confidence. Official play. Dog of the card. Dog of the night, baby.
Wow.
Put a TM trademark on that. Dog of the night.
You know when you told me, like, yeah, I feel bad for you when you wake up on a Sunday. Like, I feel bad for you waking up on a Sunday backing up Perez.
All right.
My pick is Matheus Nicolau. Confident pick on this one. Here's the thing. I'm not saying Alex Perez is trash. He is game. Now here's the thing. I feel like he's still rusty. You saying he's shaking off the jitters? I don't think he is. He came back fighting Mokaev. Mokaev is a wrestler. He's not a striker, right? So he didn't feel it yet. Mokaev was wrestling the whole time, which he does with everybody, okay? Matheus Nicolau is going to put in that work in the striking department, okay? And then Alex Perez is going to feel it, okay? He is going to feel it. Matheus Nicolau is very, very underrated. To beat Matheus Nicolau, you gotta knock him out. Like, you gotta bring in to him to knock him out. Who did Alex Perez knock out last time? Please tell me.
It's not about
who is the last person Alex Perez knocked out?
It's not about knocking people out.
It is. It plays a dividend.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you the same question. Who's the last person Matheus Nicolau knocked out? I'll tell you who. Machnell, who has been knocked out his whole life.
100% granted, you're right. But there's still the recent knockout.
So what's your point?
My point is that Matheus Nicolau is going to outvalue Alex Perez in the striking department. Alex Perez will have to try to take Matheus Nicolau down, and Matheus Nicolau is very good at protecting himself to, not to be taken down. He is very good at that. So Matheus Nicolau is going to win. He is my very confident pick.
Yeah. No. Doesn't have the tools, man. He doesn't have the tools. Okay. The level of competition is not there. I think overall we're missing out on the point that Alex Perez, the only really blemish is his injury, and who is he losing to? Davison Figueiredo, the former champ, who's killing it in the bantamweight. Pantoja, who's the current champ, and
Davison Figueiredo, he lost in 2020 in round 1.
Yes, he got submitted.
He came back and lost to round 1 to Alexander Pantoja,
the champ.
Right? He came back and then lost to Muhammad Mokaev in a decision. But granted, Mokaev is he's just not a chain wrestling machine.
Yeah.
Right? Perez, listen, all right. This is your pick. I'm not gonna, whatever. But I'm telling you, he's still rusty. He lost it. Perez is good, but he's not going to beat Matheus Nicolau. Matheus Nicolau is very good. He is very, very underrated. He has very notable wins. He lost to Brandon Royval, and Brandon Royval's game. But that was from the knee, right? He got clipped by the knee, right? And Royval is very versatile in that department. He's good with that, right? Before that, knocked out Machnell. Before that, for David Dvorak, who I think is game. Before that, won Tim Elliott, and Tim Elliott gave Muhammad Mokaev a fight for his money, right? Before that, he fought Manel Kape, and he won against him, Manel Kape. And I think Manel Kape is also very underrated. He's really, really good. He's been on a winning streak up until the loss to Brandon Royval, in which he got clipped by Diniz. Right? Before that loss, his other loss was in 2018 to Dustin Ortiz, and Dustin Ortiz is a very hard hitter himself. You got to be a very hard hitter to knock out and win against Mateus Nicolau. Because before that, he lost to Delino Lopez, who's also a very hard hitter. But that was in 2015. Aside from these losses, he's been on a massive winning streak up until now. Who is Alex Perez been winning lately? He's been losing to 3 fights that he came back to. He lost both of them in the first round, and his last one to a decision to a wrestler, Makaban Mahayev.
Mm-hmm.
So. You want to back up the dog? Can't blame you. But I'm backing up the better fighter in here, who's Mateus Nicolau.
Mateus Nicolau. I see the passion. I hear you. He's getting his ass whipped by Alex Perez.
One of us is gonna wake up not happy on a Sunday. I'm
25 push-ups on this fight. What's up? See me outside.
Bet.
25 push-ups.
Bet.
On the next podcast. Before we even start recording.
I'm picking Mateus Nicolau. You picking Alex Perez. Let's get it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a heated debate so far. Wow. Okay, a lot of passions on this next fight night going down live this Saturday. As always, I think we're going to be live streaming this Friday. Some bare knuckle situations going down. Mike Perry, the Platinum, is back in action against Alves. So I'm definitely going to be streaming. I encourage you to join me. My brother's going to be joining me. Final picks, probably that live stream we're going to give out for the UFC. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good card. It's overall a good card. You know what I mean? A nice UFC card. It's decent. It's not bad. It's obviously not UFC 300. It's not, anything crazy, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be entertaining. Every time we think it's going to be bad, it actually turns out good. So coming in with some hopes to make some money. And Yazurski, any final thoughts?
Nope. Everything was set perfectly well. Come see us on Friday when we do a live stream. Bare knuckles should be very, very entertaining. And then we'll give out the final picks then.
Yeah, for sure. Like and subscribe. You know what to do. As always, see you on the flip side.
Peace and love.